Today we will be talking about how to find the area and perimeter of polygons. You will be allowed to use your grade 7 math formula sheet when solving math problems involving formula. Area is a measurement of the number of square units needed to cover a given space. They are always labeled with square units. Perimeter is the sum of the lengths of the sides of a polygon. Do not use square units for perimeter. What is the formula for the area of a rectangle? A equals L times W. What does A equals LW mean? Area equals length times width. What is the formula for area of a square? A equals S squared. What does A equals S squared mean? Area equals length of side times length of side. What is the formula for perimeter of a rectangle? P equals 2L plus 2W. What does P equals 2L plus 2W mean? Perimeter of a rectangle equals 2 times length plus 2 times width. What is the formula for perimeter of a square? P equals 4S. What does P equal 4S? Perimeter of square equals 4 times the length of the side. What is the formula for area of a triangle? A equals 1/2 BH. What does A equals 1/2 BH mean? Area of a triangle equals 1/2 times base times height. There are 3 steps to solving area and perimeter problems. Step 1, look at the formula sheet and write the formula. Step 2, replace the formula equation with the appropriate numbers. Step 3, solve and label with the correct unit of measure. Now let's do some problems to find the perimeter. Remember, to find the perimeter, you add up all of the sides of a polygon. For example, here you have a 10 centimeter by 5 centimeter rectangle. Step 1, write down your formula. P equals 2L plus 2W. Next, step 2, you replace the formula equation with the appropriate numbers. So here you have P equals 2 times 10 centimeters plus 2 times 5 centimeters. Step 3, solve and label with correct unit of measure. So here equals 20 centimeters plus 10 centimeters. And your answer is 30 centimeters. Don't forget to label your answer with the correct units. And remember, you do not use square units for perimeter. Let's try one more together. So here you have a rectangle that is 28 by 8 kilometers. First, you look at your formula. P equals 2 times length plus 2 times width. Step 2, replace the formula equation with the appropriate numbers. So in this case, it's P equals 2 times 28 kilometers plus 2 times 8 kilometers, which equals 72 kilometers. Now it's your turn. Pause the video and try the next 2 problems on your own, and then press play to see if your answers are correct. Now check your answers. Don't forget, if you can check your problem by adding up all the sides of the polygon and seeing if they match your formula. Now let's try some problems finding the area of rectangles and parallelograms. Don't forget your steps. Step 1, look at your formula sheet and write down the formula. Step 2, replace the formula equation with the appropriate numbers. Step 3, solve and label with the correct unit of measure. Here, let's try the first example. You have a 10 by 5 centimeter rectangle, and you want to find the area. Step 1, look at your formula sheet. What is the formula for area of a rectangle? A equals length times width. Step 2, replace the formula equation with the appropriate numbers. A equals 10 centimeters times 5 centimeters. Step 3, solve the equation. A equals 50 centimeters squared. Don't forget to square your units. Area is always squared. Let's try one more together. Find the area of this 28 kilometer by 8 kilometer rectangle. Step 1, area equals length times width. Step 2, area equals 28 kilometers times 8 kilometers. Area equals 224 kilometers squared. Don't forget to label kilometers squared. And now pause the video and try the next 2 on your own. Press play to check your answers when you are done. Now check your answers. Let's try some problems finding the area of triangles. Remember your steps. Step 1, look at the formula sheet and write down the formula. Step 2, replace the formula equation with the appropriate numbers. Step 3, solve and label the correct unit of measure. Let's try the first example. Find the area of the triangle with a base of 4 feet and a height of 5 feet. Remember, any side can be the base of a triangle. The height is the perpendicular line dropped onto its base from the corner opposite the base. Step 1, find the formula. A equals 1/2 B times H. Step 2, replace B and H with the appropriate numbers. A equals 1/2 times 4 feet times 5 feet. Step 3, solve and label. A equals 10 feet squared. Remember, area is always labeled with square units. Let's try one more together. Find the area of a triangle with a base of 12 feet and a height of 12 feet. Step 1, A equals 1/2 BH. Step 2, A equals 1/2 times 12 feet times 12 feet. A equals 72 feet squared. And remember, we're calculating area, so it's always squared. Now you try the next two on your own. Now check your answers. Let's talk about the formulas for area and circumference of a circle. The circumference is the distance around the circle. The diameter is the line segment that passes through the center of a circle and has its endpoints on the circle. The radius is a line segment with one endpoint at the center of the circle and the other endpoint on the circle. When given the diameter of a circle, you must find the radius. To do that, you cut the diameter in half, equals diameter divided by 2, and that equals the radius. What is the radius of a circle? It is the diameter divided by 2. Radius equals d divided by 2. What is the diameter of a circle? It is 2 times the radius. D equals 2r. What is the difference between the radius and the diameter? The radius is the distance from the center of a circle to the edge of the circle, while the diameter is the distance from one edge of the circle to the other going through the center. What is the formula for circumference of a circle? C equals 2 pi r. What does C equal 2 pi r mean? Circumference equals 2 times pi times radius of a circle. What is the formula for area of a circle? A equals pi r squared. What does A equal pi r squared mean? A, the area, equals pi times radius squared. Which is pi times radius times radius. Now let's apply the definition and formula of a circumference to a few examples. Example 1. Find the circumference of a circle that has a radius of 6 centimeters. Step 1. Write out your formula. C equals 2 pi r. Step 2. Replace the formula equation with the appropriate numbers. C equals 2 times 3.14 times 6 centimeters. Step 3. Solve and label with the correct unit of measure. C equals 37.68 centimeters. Let's try one more together. Here you have a circle with a diameter of 12.6 inches. Remember, when you're given the diameter of a circle, you must find the radius. The formula for radius is d over 2. So radius equals d over 2. So radius equals 12.6 inches divided by 2. So your radius is 6.3 inches. Now we can solve the problem. Step 1. Your formula for circumference is C equals 2 pi r. Step 2. C equals 2 times 3.14 times 6.3 inches. Step 3. C equals 39.56 inches. Now it's your turn. Pause the video and try example number 2 on your own. Now we will work a few problems finding the area of a circle. Example 1. Find the area of a circle that has a radius of 6 centimeters. Step 1. Write out your formula. Area equals pi r squared. Step 2. Replace the formula equation with the appropriate numbers. A equals 3.14 times 6 centimeters squared. Step 3. Solve and label with the correct unit of measure. Area equals 113 and 4/100 centimeters squared. Don't forget to label with square units. Let's try one more together. Remember, you must find the radius when you are given the diameter. So in this example, you are finding the area of a circle with a 12.6 inch diameter. So to find the radius, you divide the diameter by 2. .6 inches divided by 2. So your radius equals 6.3 inches. Step 1. Your formula for area is area equals pi r squared. Step 2. Area equals 3.14 times 6.3 inches squared. Step 3, area equals 124 and 63/100 inches squared. Now you try number 2 on your own. Pause the video, and when you're done, check your answer. Now check your answer. Did you remember to square your units?